So this story takes place at a local anime convention I enjoy going to. I cosplay a bit very casually, but since I learned to sew this year, I went all out and decided going on as my favorite character ever, Mayrin from Black Butler. During the weekend, I get approached a few times by people wanting to chat. Always friendly, a lot of fun, and the people who wanted to chat with me as Mayrin were incredibly funny and not expecting anything too serious, which was perfect. Then, while at a booth, a man I had only heard of in legends approached, neckbeard flowing, wearing a traditional kimono, sandals, hat. I don't know what the hat is called officially, but it's the one farmers wear, I believe, flat and made of straw. The encounter goes like this.
NB, Neckbeard. Mayrin, huh?
Me. Yes, sir, you got it.
NB. Do the accent. Why aren't you talking in her accent?
Your accent's very civic. Yes, it is.
Me.
Sorry, dude, but her accent is indeed Pacific, and it's just not in my talents. It's very cute, but I just can't do it. My voice is a few octaves too low. But I'd love to learn how to do it one day.
NB, now smirking. Can't you do the accent? What about your glasses? They're not the right ones. Me, pointing to my actual cosplay glasses hanging on my dress.
Sir, these are my actual glasses. I switched them out for pictures and such. But I just need to see because my actual eyesight is very bad.
NB, you're not supposed to be able to see through them. That's the point in the anime.
So this was the point where I just laughed it off and told him it would be very difficult to wear Canon non-see-through glasses, but thanks for mentioning it anyway. At this time, my poor first convention best friend was checking out a sword stand, more specifically the metal lockets they also had displayed, and this guy tried to move on to her. Luckily, she's a huge history buff and was unimpressed with his knowledge. Eventually, he went away on his own, but it's so baffling and odd to me. He was so condescending and rude and over cosplay nonetheless. This is about a neckbeard I ended a relationship with because of very weird NSFW reasons. That's your warning. This will include those themes. To set the scene, I'm very small, 5'3", skinny, and pretty much neckbeard bait. I love anime, take care of myself, and have been told I look like an anime character. I keep my hair nice, blah blah blah. Additionally, I'm almost legally but not fully blind. This is important. So, at the time, I was 15 and on a forum for lovers of anime including Tokyo Ghoul, Blue Exorcist, etc. I met a guy called Sean. Red flag immediately was an anime profile pic, not a face pic. Starts talking to me. Found out he was 17. Okay, fine. He kinda acted weird. His conversation was what I call appropriate. I asked for a picture, and he was hesitant at first, but agreed. The angle was weird, distorted, and from above. He knew I'm pretty much blind, but he wore glasses, had long hair, and I think it was light brown. I still felt like there was something odd about the picture. He was someone I could have intimate conversations with. I was lonely at the time, and so was he. Why not have an internet relationship, right? Nothing shady there. So we dated, and things turned weirdly sexual weirdly fast. I'm not gonna say I was sexually active because I was not, but I had a couple of girlfriends and a boyfriend and knew what I was doing. It went from normal cyber stuff to heavily kinky shit. I'm a people pleaser, naturally very passive and anxious, and he exploited that in me. We never did what I wanted, only what he wanted and liked. It started getting weirder and weirder until he started asking me to do things like shove ice cubes up his ass and RP and all manner of other weird shit. But the crowning jewel of this was when we had a video call. He answered shirtless and at a different angle. Immediately I realized some shit I could see he was mortally obese and looked like your typical teenage neckbeard, minus the beard. Honestly, he looked weirdly feminine. Imagine a young hairless Chris Chan, and he was sitting filming himself in his neckbeard nest. It was so stereotypical you would not believe. During this video call, he kept being overly explicit, sexual, etc., and got mean too. He once asked if I needed to be locked up because I have him a compliment? Like, not laughing with me, but at me. I was pretty much done at this point. The call got interrupted by his mother, and it was a whole awful thing. Once his mother left us alone, he did something that made me cut him out for good. He asked me to watch him shove burgers up his ass. Ice cold ham and cheeseburgers, and also shove meat up there. To watch him do it over video and be dominant while he did it, like degrade him and shit and threaten him, it was gross, and I got the fuck out of there. The experience made me really weary, and I think a lot of those stories too. What I'd say about this is the most nerdy anime guys are great and amazing boyfriend. I'm one and dating one. I have to say that, and neckbeards are an exception, infrequent at most, so don't be put off unless the flags are the concept of red. I actually have a couple of neckbeard stories though, because I'm such an otaku and heavily embedded in that culture, so I meet my fair share and will post these too. In the story, I'll call Neckbeard N and my friend A, her boyfriend B, and my friend Q. A bit of context. I moved a lot since my parents were in the military, and when we end up in my hometown, I was super happy. The thing is, I don't remember anyone here as we left when I was super young, so I went to a local high school for my grade 10 term. We ended up buying a new house, so I started school halfway through the first term because we got a new house. They built a kitchen and game room in the basement for me so I could have my own space. I was 14 then, about to turn 15. I am a very super quiet person and I don't usually speak to people. I did not really have any friends, so I went to this club, Writing Buds. Sounds lame, but I did not have anything else to do. I ended up meeting a girl, A. She was really sweet, so I started hanging out with her. I met her boyfriend, B, and we hung out a lot. About my 3rd month into school, they all wanted to have a barbecue bonfire, so I proposed that they can come over to my place. My one chance to show off my nice house and hopefully be added to their friend group. On the day of the barbecue bonfire, I took the public bus home and arrived an hour early to prepare. I set all 3 of the chairs up and set out the food and put the paper in the bond pit. I got ready and waited for them to arrive. To my surprise, they brought a friend with them. Of course, I was more than happy to meet a new person, so I welcomed them all. About an hour later of awkward silences and A and B being on their phones, I decided to take a breather and go inside. I needed to grab a lighter for the fire anyways. I went in the back door and was taking my shoes off when N came in behind me. This was our conversation as best I can remember. Me. Hey, do you need to use the bathroom? N. No, I just came in here to get out the sun. Me. Oh, okay, yeah, I can grab you some water if you want. N. Nah, I'm good. Looks me up and down. Me. Oh, okay. Starting to get extremely nervous. I then went to walk down my hall to my bedroom, and he was following me. I told him he was not allowed in my room, and he'd have to stay in the living room. He said all right, so there's no way he did not hear what I said. I went into my room and shut the door and started changing. I was sweaty as fuck due to my anxiety, and I had my shirt off and my pants off. I was putting my shirt on over my head when I felt something brush against my butt. I could not see, so I backed up against my dresser and tried to get my shirt on. I feel hands around my waist and a phallus between my thighs rubbing. I got my shirt on and pushed the guy, N, off of me. Me. What the fuck? N. What, baby girl? Me. What the hell are you doing? N. What do you mean, baby? I thought you wanted to. Me. What the fuck? If I wanted to, I definitely would not have done it with you. And why the hell would you think without me even asking you to have sex I wanted to? N. Hey, stop playing hard to get. We both know you want this. He then continued to put his arms around my waist and kiss me. He bit my lip and tore skin off of it. I was struggling to get him off of me. I'm 4'9" and roughly 108 pounds. He's like 200 pounds and 6'2". If you want full detail, he was 17 years old, had a full-blown neckbeard, which was dyed green, and he looked like a 30-year-old, not joking or exaggerating. I found out later he deals drugs by my new group of friends. Anyways, he continued to struggle with me until Q, who lives above me, we have 4 levels in our house. I have the basement, she rents the 2nd floor, and my sister and her boyfriend live on the 3rd, and my parents the 4th. Everybody has their own bedrooms, bathrooms, and everything. Q came into my room and tore N off of me, pretty much beat the shit out of him. A and B both came into my room and started screaming at me and Q. My dad eventually came home and threw everyone out. N, A, B, and they did not speak with me again until a few weeks later. I was really shaken up about everything that happened. I told my dad, and he wanted to beat the shit out of N. I did not go to school for a week, and when I came back, there was a video of me changing going around at school. N had taken a video of me changing and everyone saw it. I wanted to die. Eventually, the school found out about the video and I got called down. I told the school and our local police officer came and spoke to me. That didn't do shit. N walked away free with a warning and out of school suspension. His phone was confiscated. I was beyond fucking pissed. I posted about it on my Snap, and a few 12 and 13-year-old friends of my sister asked me about it. They asked for his name. Guess who was also hitting and getting nudes from underage girls? N. He turned 18, and I went to the cops about it. He's now in jail for child pornography, sexual assault of a minor, not me, but another girl he managed to stick his filthy phallus in. And to top it all off, a bunch of drug charges, courtesy of his buyers ratting on him. I switched schools, and I'm pretty happy. No one knows about the incident, but it still bothers me about how long it took for justice to come forward. I did leave out other instances, just because the story would drag on too long. That's the sum.